What's up, guys? I'm Josh.
I'm Fred.
We are Terrible Things. We're going to show you the van. We can do a little tour of the van.
This kick-ass van of ours that we've driven across the country about a dozen times.
And don't forget the trailer. Without the trailer, we would be totally effed. So,
The trailer's name is Mo.
And this is Jennifer, the van. we don't have a name for the van. I don't know if Jennifer is tough enough. You see the beautiful plush seats here. You know, very comfortable on those 10-hour drives.
Actually, they're horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
No one ever wants to sit up front, so I am usually the one in the front.
Well, Fred is either the one up front or the one driving. I think he does. There's a discrepancy between Fred and our roadie who does the most driving. I go with Fred. I think Fred probably does about 70%, 65 to 70% of the driving.
There was a discrepancy this week because Dennis, who you'll probably meet in a minute, Dennis claimed that he did 90% of the driving.
Which is ridiculous.
And very Dennis.
It's just crazy.
So I kind of consider like the front of the van like the kitchen if it were a house.
You know, we live in this thing, so
lots of change. Tums is always important. Lots of Mexican food in the Southwest.
I call this dinner when per diem runs out. I go in the change. That's why there's only pennies left, because I'm always stealing from it. But yeah, your typical, I guess, front of the van. We're gonna go to the back here. Freddie, why don't you tell them what we're looking at here? Here's the double doors.
This is the living room, this first bench, because this whole area here would normally be a place to hang out. Unfortunately, it's where our guitarist sleeps all day.
Yeah, and then calls himself the driving king. It's
the
crazy.
Driving
People
machine.
in this band are crazy. The driving machine. Okay.
So everybody wants to be the driver, but since they're not here, we're just gonna talk shit.
We're gonna talk crazy bad about them.
No, this is Andy's joint. He's a good dude.
We got a little power inverter. Is it a converter or inverter?
Inverter, I think.
I think it's inverter. It's an inverter, so you know.
Got to charge the cell phones, but these days, see, when we started touring, we didn't even barely have cell phones, because A, we had negative money, and B, it was a long time ago. We're road dogs from, you know.
I actually did my first tour. Freddie showed me the ropes in my first band, my first, real band, I guess, Coheed and Cambria. Fred, we went on tour with Fred's band, Breaking Pangea, and that was our first tour ever, and these guys showed us the ropes, and we made, lasting, lifelong friends, so that's pretty cool.
We taught them that you have to sleep in the van to save money. Something that Josh still does to this day, actually. This guy is the most hardcore of all of us. We tend to get hotels these days, but Josh, he prefers the van.
Here's the thing, folks. Me and Jennifer are tight. There's a relationship there. There's a history there. But let me ask, you the viewer, who would, a hotel floor or this nice comfy bench?
Which brings us to the first bedroom, Josh's bench.
This is my bench. I got my bag set up. I got my sleeping bag for later tonight when I feel like laying down. But I guess other than that, it's your typical bench. Not too cluttered. There's I tried to leave some room in there, some leg room, because I was sitting up today.
I like to think. Here's the whole thing. We forgot to mention the most important part of Josh's van experience is the movies.
Very important. Very important.
Josh has an addiction to movies.
Well, I used to be addicted to other things, so it's pretty. I think it's on the safe side of things.
He's running out of movies to watch, aren't you?
True. Yeah.
He brought. What was the dog one you brought?
The dog one?
Part 2.
Oh, Lady and the Tramp Part 2.
Because he was simply out of he has seen every movie that's ever come out.
And we got books and books of movies, but I like kids movies. My girlfriend has a little 7-year-old daughter at home, so I get into the kids movies. Anyway, I lay here. The good thing about, hold this, Freddie. I might have to show you guys this, because this is pretty tight. The good thing
get up in there.
About this DVD player is when you're watching a movie, you guys are gonna bug. Oh, dip. What? Lap
you don't
of luxury,
have to hold
folks.
It doesn't have to touch you?
No, dude. I put it right here and I lay down and watch the movie. It's almost like on a bus how they're built into the...
Oh, you mean like over here? It's almost like this thing that I paid extra for Josh.
It's actually just like that. So it's kind of odd that I use this thing. But hey, this screen is bigger and I'm right up in the... It's like a big screen TV to me. I'm right up in it.
It's like a movie theater screen.
These are the things that excite me nowadays, folks, is movies. I send pictures of this to my friends, like, look what I figured out. Anyway, pretty amazing stuff.
What was the Lindsay Lohan movie you were watching last night?
I Know Who Killed Me.
Is that like I Know What You Did Last Summer?
It is, actually.
5?
It was her like attempt at, you know, credible adult movies. Oddly enough, Lindsay Lohan was famous for her role in, what was it, where the twins switched and she played both girls. What was the name of that movie? Anybody know?
Parent Trap?
No, it wasn't a Parent Trap, but it was basically like the same thing, where she played a little English girl and a little American girl, and they switched because their mommy and daddy were separated or whatever, and everybody gave her all these props because she talked with an English accent. So oddly enough, in this movie, where she's vying for like credibility, she's a real actress, she plays two different twin sisters. It's kind of funny little thing there, kind of like intertwined. It's almost like the same thing, two twins, both kind of different personalities, different voices slightly, and it's terrible. Awful movie. But I don't know, you got to decide for yourself. That's what I always say. I don't know, the third bench back there is pretty similar to the second one.
Yeah, it's
and the fourth
it's where
one.
We stick the bass player and
we stick him back there.
Brian.
And if he talks too much, we're going to put in a wall here where we can just put up the wall so we don't have to deal with him.
Yeah, or
no, I'm just kidding. We love Brian. Fred probably wants to put a wall on all these benches so he doesn't have to hear us and
go
hear us talk about Pink
limousine
Floyd.
style. The trailer keeps the gear out of our faces and keeps it from hitting me in the head when I hit the brakes.
Which we have toured like that before with the gear in the van, which is
under
the trailers
seats and all
awesome.
that. Over this side, there is one. We were in Texas and we parked on the street, and I had a bad feeling about it. And a red truck hit us, and it took this off. The door kind of leaks now. You can see there's still a scratch. This happened like a year ago, but it's got its scars. It's been through a lot. It's up to 170,000 miles right now. I think it had about 20,000 when we got it, and it's our baby, man. It's running real sweet. There's a few problems, but you know,
Jennifer's always good to us.
Keep it under control.
She's got Freddie at the helm, so he's very gentle. He's a very nurturing driver, I think.
I am easy on him these days, so you know. Although we go very fast, but
very fast and very hard.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us and checking out our home that we get to see more than our actual home, which is kind of nice sometimes.
Kind of nice
on
sometimes.
days like these.
You know, I really enjoy your company.
I love this man.
I love this man. He's my best friend. And yeah, thanks for checking out the van. We're Terrible Things.
I think it's high time we walk into the sunset.
Yes.
Good night.
Later.